position with the ogre on top. In my head, my first intention was thinking about dominance. And so the dominance was not for the main character, but it was actually for the enemy guy. But I always like the idea of heroes being in a position that are precarious and they got to survive that moment of it. So as I had the idea in the moment, my first couple lines helped me establish then the camera angle shot. And from there, I was able to move into all the details there afterwards, thinking about overlaps, depth, perspective, camera angles, and bringing it all together for the live drawing here at DesignerCon with Plastic Cell. My character, and I did a comic for it, all that stuff, and one of the artists here did a sculpture of it too. We were working together. So I came out, and I've been doing a live painting, so I just painted this now. Coming to a drawing, we're going to draw for a little bit. I'm going to come back and paint the dragon, finish the day. Where are you at these days?
Same old.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing usually changes much after you kind of settle in.
Yeah. The source material.
Yeah.
So you watch it. Don't break it. See how light it is?
Did you ever see that book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have more than one now, don't you? Don't you have like 3 of them?
No. That's the one I did. I'll have more eventually. I'm putting out another one next year.
Okay.
I'm working with the Kim Jong-gi group for that next one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I want cake.
This is what I was explaining to you. You know, do you do YouTube videos?
I do a little bit of it, mostly more based on reviews, impressions on like product and stuff.
Yeah, but
I do a lot of live feeds on Twitch now. Instagram is still where I post a lot of my stuff, but my Twitch I'm going to try to grow. So live feeds will be a big part of that.
You said you're on Twitch?
Yeah, I am. I do live feeds.
What's your Twitch name?
Peter Han style.
I think I came across you before.
Oh yeah? Cool.
It's like, wait.
I do a lot of live drawing, a bit more educational stuff, sharing content.
So after you draw.
do. If you find same name, Peter Hunt style. You guys get anything yet?
No, I told them they all want to get stuff. I was like, you gotta wait until they look at everything.
There's so much out there.
Yeah. Let's wait. Bye now. Alright, man.
All right, see you later. Okay, man. How you guys doing?
Is there any way I can ask for a weird request
What's up?
to get your autograph?
If you have something to join, I got a pen here. It's a beautiful pen. It's a beautiful pen.
Thank you.
I was gonna buy the sauce here. What's it name? You got the long hair. No. The one with the pattern. Rated 11.4. Yeah, you had it in Spanish.
That's so cool.
There you go. Of course, not a problem. I couldn't pull the trigger.
That's how I was happy with the first time we draw on my suit.
I'm glad you liked them.
I love it.
Buy for them. I will buy it. Yeah, you should buy it. I'll buy it. The yellow one's actually the best one. Yeah, I got all of them.
Thank you, Mike. Mike say that you're talented. A lot of people would come up and nice.
You have one person watching.
If you guys have any questions, you can ask. This is my original book too. You can look through it if you want to.
Is this the Monkey King?
This one?
Yeah.
No. Like a big ogre.
I'm gonna send you all the weird stuff, dude. I'm a computer.
When you started, did you already have it in your head exactly what you're going to do, or are you letting
Nope.
it progress?
Usually when I have a drawing, there's no clear image in my head. I just have an idea. And the idea kind of gives me a good sense as to like how I want to begin, but I never have a clear picture. But once I start, the image begins to emerge, and a big part of it is that I adapt to whatever I create. So that shape part of it might emerge, like this part over here starts to come out, and I keep moving with it. A good analogy is writing with words. How a single line represents a letter, and how you combine those letters together creates a word, and you combine the words to create a sentence. It could be a poem, it could be an essay. So each line then naturally progresses in one direction to another because it structures in that way.
See, you want to give up 2 things.
In the beginning, it's all about the big strokes, big shapes, big forms, and then eventually you start to get to the small stuff. I kind of laid some other things out here with some like weapons that I kind of started about.
That's what I'm talking about. That's less. Oh yeah.
So was your intention when you started to put him in a compromised position, or was that just kind of how it evolved?
It started with definitely with the idea of him being dominated by something. That was the initial concept. In terms of the position, the camera, the angling, posing, no idea.
And so did the foe did the form identify the foe, or was that something you were...
I mainly use the mythology, but also a lot of the antagonist characters that he fights against, which ends up being these kind of very troll, ogre-like characters. Yeah. So with these kind of live drawings, I also have to be mindful of the fact that I'm in a crunch time.
Yeah.
So I got to be able to produce this in an hour. And so I got to use my familiarity, but also try to use new methods of posing and camera work to make it feel fresh. See, even though these are drawings of characters that I've done many times over again, the fact that I can actually move that camera more is able to make it feel unique in every single moment. So I've drawn situations similar to this, where he's on the ground, guys on top of him doing that. But the camera beforehand was up here. And this time I moved it down here. Yeah.
So when you're drawing, you're thinking almost as a director?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I mean, not all illustrators and conceptual designers do this because you think of it as just a single shot showing the design, you know? Illustration, I mean, we'll play with it more. Storyboarders do a lot of it, obviously, because they're playing with camera.
Yeah.
But that's something I want to integrate much more into my work to make it feel more dynamic. Because if you look at, let's say, straight figure drawing. Figure drawing, you're sitting on a horse looking at a model and you draw it, but everyone's sitting in the same position, eye level. So the model moves, but you don't move. And so the camera's not being adjusted at all. But if you want to create a shot that can potentially tell a better story on dynamics and action, you got to be able to move it up or down, close and back, understand lenses as well too, you know? Wide angle to telephoto, that kind of stuff. Flatten my perspective or make it more skewed. So I want to understand things like cinematography and storyboarding and all those things. And I want to understand all those methods and techniques to increase my ability to control the imagery. Not all images need this dynamic, crazy camera work. Sometimes you want something subtle, straightforward. For the illustration and marketing piece, it's got to be straight on. But for a lot of my drawings, I like to play with that skill set to kind of keep building it up so I can always freely move it around. Because this skill set, if you don't maintain it, it's really easy to lose. The ability to move the camera in your head, really hard. One of the trainings I will do, I'll sit in a bar or a cafe, and you can sit and look at the perspective and draw it, but I would visually move the camera up there as I'm looking at this perspective and try to draw that angle. Really tough.
Yeah. Because you're translating forms at that point.
Yes, exactly. And not just making it up. You're using the things you're looking at to transfer over.
thought you were like shooing someone.
Doing.
Good. I gotta delete this one.
I told you.
I can't physically tell you.
I want you to say it in the video. I have to wait for it to come back again. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Critique Master. Oh, that one's kind of bad, darn it.
Oh, that's the thing, but it's always there. You're able to see it up here, project it down there. And the fact that the construction is so important, I still use it, but I use it so minimally, but it's enough for me to understand that people don't see it.
Inside your head, you saw all those shapes and stuff.
Yeah, that, but I can also place down a couple of lines that shows me the directions to follow for those shapes. And so the construction is something I use, but I find shortcuts. And eventually, as you become more confident in that thing, you find methods of being able to kind of shortcut techniques to get to the source faster. And speed, again, it's about that being 100% familiar. When you're 100% familiar with the subject, the camera, the tool, then there's no more thinking. You just do it.
Like you can tell almost right away where she's at. Like she's in the mountains.
You saw shapes and stuff in the beginning.
Sure, absolutely.
All of it.
You mean in terms of like,
It's exactly the same thing.
back in the day I would, yeah. Everything would always be like constructive forms. Draw through, get into primitive shapes. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's, I mean, everything I teach is based on that. And you start to understand that the primitive shape is the answer to solve the memory problem. Because if you got a detailed thing to draw, it's really hard to memorize all those elements. But if I can show you how to make it very primitive, that's easy to retain. And you take the time to detail the stuff later on. How are you? It's good to see you.
So our class?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Of course. You know that book. But this is what we're working on together, just me and this company. Where are you these days?
I graduated in April.
Yeah?
Just looking for a job.
You're still looking? Okay. Hopefully it'll come soon.
Yeah.
All right, good to see you.
Yeah, I am a fan. And I also like. Are you the artist? Yeah. What's your name? Rod. Nice to meet you. I'm an artist myself. Yeah. I appreciate it. Just came here to check things out. I'm in on that.
You need to promote it. Where you put
Yeah, that's good. I think that's a lot of abstract actually.
He's got it in his head, like projects it down.
And I used to work, but I used to do more like drawing and
Thank you.
yeah. So are you?
Almost like as if you're watching like Shakespeare's story.
Nobody's watching, dude.
Yeah.
Boong is only one.
Is this your drawing? Yeah.
It's a process book, all my lecture notes on how I teach sketching and drawing. So you're welcome to look through it. Covers a lot of stuff from the organics, the smallest things to mechanical forms, breakdown of process and shapes. I've been teaching a class about 10 years now at the Art Center College, Pasadena.
Yeah.
So it's all the processes in there.
What's your name?
Peter.
Peter?
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. Rod.
Nice to meet you, Rod.
Yeah. And this is your book too?
It's my original sketchbook. My
Nice.
daily carry.
Do you make stuff for shows or something like that? Or
Well, I did conceptual design for games for about 7 years. I've been
Uh-huh.
teaching now for 10.
Okay.
And I still do contract work for game studios and animation studios.
Uh-huh.
On top of that, I just do a lot of stuff publishing. So I produce my own books. inside.
Yeah. How much is the book?
So it's available at another booth over here.
Okay.
I believe they charge 50 for that.
50?
And if you bring it back, I'll draw it for you.
an hour standing.
All right. Cool, man.
The booth, which number is? I think it's 2810.
So do you work with the other gentleman here? Or
Yeah, so
the other artist
we're
here?
just friends.
Okay.
And we wanted to collaborate, and this was my design based on a story that I developed with the comics. And so they wanted to do a 3D sculpture of it. So I did a live painting so far. I'm going to finish the dragon later on. Thank you.
What's up, Peter?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see you.
Long time no see.
I know, no kidding.
Were you just here for today?
Yeah, I've just been working today on
Since like 1 o'clock, huh?
Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Finally seeing it myself. I just painted this so far.
Yeah.
Doing a drawing, I'll paint the dragon in bed.
Oh, you did that earlier today.
Yeah. That was about 2.5 hours.
When's it releasing?
Huh?
When's Blacksmith
The
releasing?
comic?
Yeah.
The comic's already done. I had,
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
Kickstarter already.
Right.
And the printing will start up probably early next year.
Okay.
I
So
wanna-
definitely 2020.
Yeah. And I'll start shipping things out probably around February, March. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's so crazy because the bottom part of it, like honestly, it just looked like scribble, but it's like an artist. You know what I mean? It's like every move is intentional, and then it all comes together, and it's like, what the heck?
Rotating just.
Has it really Rosetta feel right now? Like,
Yeah, I love it.
Love
stuff. I'm blocking everything in, and I start to refine and clean things up. Big stroke first. You don't sit there and just like noodle away at drawing. With like painting, I did that intentionally with the focus, but with this, I have to establish the entire large area of grouping first,
Yeah.
and then I go to the small stuff after. Like with sculpting, I would imagine the same thing. You're blocking the big forms initially.
What's funny because you say that because when I'm teaching sculpture, I'm talking to my students about it's not like drawing where you can start and explode it out.
Right.
For a lot of my students, that's the way they work.
All right, man. Good to see you.
You know, they do the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and then everything kind of like radiates out from that.
Right.
Whereas the sculpting, you start with like all of the forms and then work your way out. But then for painting, it can be the opposite.
But that's the thing with the drawing that we're doing in this method.
Yeah.
It is about the bigger shapes first.
Yeah.
So the drawing technique that I teach comes from an industrial background, not an illustration background. The illustration background says you look at something, you copy it, you draw it. But in the industrial method, it's about being able to translate the information into filtering. And you primitive, basically get the primitive shapes, and then you get the subsurface information, So traditional method of illustration, great because you get what you see, but you're unable to actually use it as a tool to like turn things in space, to create stuff out of your mind. You're always then locked in on what you're having to look at.
We lost our kid.
Yep.
That's us. This kid's probably crying like hell.
Or he's like, don't call my mom.
I was trying to run away. That is really interesting. You shade all over the picture.
Yeah.
You know? I seriously always thought that you do start at one point and just work out.
Yeah.
But I guess
Big
not.
washes.
Yeah. It's much better that way, it seems like.
So I start to go in detail on this, but I know also not to push that as equal as this. Because as that is now back in space, that should have less information. So,
Which is the opposite of what most people would think.
Exactly. So this is where you then get the trouble of like overworking the drawing. And it feels flat because of it. Time. So I'm probably going to work maybe 20 more minutes on this and move back to the sculpture.
Go yawning! Go yawning!
My mom and my dad would be like, why didn't you get me anything? So I'm like considering, like, should I? Well, she just wants anything cute. She's not very picky, but my dad, he was like very small.
Hey, dude, give some.
What's up, man?
How you doing? Really cool.
How many pens are you using for this whole picture?
How many pens?
Yeah.
It's 2. This one and this one.
Is that how you do most of your work?
It varies. Sometimes I'll use different tool sets. A lot of my pens I use is fountain pens. I don't really buy off-the-shelf pens anymore. A lot of these are like sent to me by companies. It's like, try it, test it, that kind of stuff. This one I bought years ago. I just use the same one again, resell it. Fountain pens I invest money on because I like collecting stuff.
Yeah.
And fountain pens have vintage quality to them too. And I like, just old stuff. But it's also because, after teaching 10 years, working in this stuff for so many years afterwards, the amount of pens you would buy, the amount of plastic waste I've gone through is insane. So I try not to buy off the shelf, like one-off use plastics anymore. Especially in pens.
Do you think you'll incorporate any Western mythology
For this story?
into your story? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep it within the area of Asia. I've taken them as far as Africa, but that's just for like fantasy, just kind of playing with it. But Western, not necessarily, unless I try where like a European traveler is like going into Asia, you know, like maybe like the Crusades kind of stuff,
Yeah.
you know. Because I've played with the concept of the medieval weapons too, you know, Lady of the Lake, Excalibur, that kind of stuff. Because, you know, obviously any sort of culture, Western to Native American to South America, each have their own amazing mythology based on even weapons too. I mean, I studied so much in different cultures. Like for me, one of my favorites is the Polynesian cultures. I love studying the Maori people. You know, New Zealand, the Tahitians, and Samoans. They have amazing, you know, in terms of like the history of traveling and wanders, nomads, settling from island to island. But I just favor things like tattoo design, jewelry, and like weapons and all that kind of stuff. So I connect pretty heavily to the Polynesians. I just like the way their way of life they have is.
That's insane to see this piece come to life.
It's getting there.
Looking at it from the screen, it looks insane.
Yeah, probably about another 20 minutes, but
Yeah.
I gave Danny an original piece. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah.
I'd have to look. That's good.
And you guys can take this one too, so.
Yeah. At this level of your drawing, it's like it's so much fun. You can like go have a cup of coffee and just sketch something real quick.
Well,
Right on the top of your mind.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like for a lot of people who are doing this kind of like presentation or a talk or a drawing, they got to do one thing or another. You know, they got to focus on the drawing, and they can't talk to people. But it's like the people that engage, talk, draw, and interact with everybody at the same time. It took years to practice that. You know, it's like being at different shows, being a teacher was a big part of it. I'm sure you realize that. But that skill set has helped me quite a bit, not just from like what I do, but also the attention of people want me.
Yeah.
So I do so much traveling around the world. The last 3 years I've been traveling for all of summer, from May to August. Every month I'm in some country, and I do lectures and workshops and talks. And so I have a lot of energy for this. I can go for hours and hours and hours. And when schools find that kind of stuff, they really want to use you because it's rare to find certain people that can kind of handle all of it. Some people are really good at like demonstration, but they don't really say anything. some people speak, but they don't do it while they're talking.
See, I think it's easier when you're demonstrating to have interaction than when there's none. Because the hardest thing with high school is that the kids don't interact as much.
Sure.
So everything becomes a distraction when they're like that. But a good interaction, and it feels like everything starts flowing a lot
Absolutely.
better.
And some process of drawing takes longer than others too.
Yeah.
So it takes like, an hour to set the entire thing up, and then you got to go through the whole process of it. And again, that's their way of doing it, and it works. But in a live situation, when you're only like having an hour and a half to block it in and get it done, it's a lot to ask for someone. So
I really like this like fast drawing style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and the thing is, like, this is my normal pace, So
I do it all the time. But like when it's in
You draw when you draw like this one or that one, it all starts with this.
yeah, same way, straight ink.
when I know I want to keep it.
Straight ink is the one you're using?
Yep.
Because then I'll be like, when I go
But
to
here I'm engaging and doing many other things. With these pieces, this is the only thing I'm doing. So in actuality, even though I'm taking the same amount of time, I have more control in these areas too.
And that's water paint, right?
Yeah, watercolors and washes. It's hard to find good instructors these days, especially within the entertainment field. What we do on a professional level, or somebody's working that has good enough quality of work, but it also can communicate that really well. It's really tough to find that.
What's your YouTube channel about? Like
Yeah,
how to draw, or just like you drawing?
and that's why I do my Twitch streams. So I do Twitch, yeah. So I just started that right now. I used to do a lot of Instagram Live, but I never liked the format. It just was a vertical, low quality, wasn't very good. So with Twitch, I can make it landscape, higher quality. If I get to a certain number of followers, I can make a subscription base, so people can pay or see some of the things.
yeah.
But YouTube would have been a great way too. But a lot of my Instagram followers are there, so to migrate them from one platform to another was tough.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of stuck with Instagram. But eventually I was like, it's just not working.
Well, Twitch works with Instagram, right? 'Cause
In a way.
I've seen a lot of people
Yeah.
that they'll start it on Instagram, but then if
Right.
you want to continue, you can always switch over to the Twitch.
But it's a better platform because it's young,
Yeah.
especially the art side. I mean, Twitch is mainly known for gaming, but right now the art community is growing, but it's small enough to stand out. That's why I want to jump on that, because YouTube is a sea of people.
Yeah.
It's hard to stand out with that one. And with anything else, it's always about taking that, opportunity to hit while it's hot. It's like while it's still there, you got to go after it. Things, live and die so fast on this technology, especially social media.
About to paint this one. So 20 minutes. Yeah. Check it out later. You can paint the dragon.
Yeah.
Where did you sell this book again?
2810. Booth 2810. It's right down there. It's D15, column D15.
How much is the cigarette?
Let's see, these guys? Stickers.
That was, 5. First sleeve 5, right? Yeah. It's gonna be. That one's actually a 3.
3, okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you need a bag with that?
No, thanks.
Yeah. Who's that guy on top?
Yep.
How much are these?
That one's 15.
15?
What do you do with that?
And you just mold on top of it, right?
Yeah, we
Mike.
stuff on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That guy's beating the blacksmith.
He's on top of it, going down on that.
Use that right there to smoke that guy.
No.
Who's that?
How much are these, Jose?
The pins are. Look.
$10. 10?
10? Use a new character.
It's just like an ogre, monster, creature kind of thing.
Okay.
And these like general illustrations, I just kind of have like
He's making
obscure
the prom,
creatures.
Maybe. I'm sorry. It came out. Maybe.
I thought from far away I was like John Jones, but then
But this is actually pretty much done.
Such a crazy perspective. Angle.
I try to play with the camera. These 2 points right here, my horizon line. So establish the angle of view of the camera, horizon line, low angle looking up, establish the main character of the front of the camera, hit him first, using the back of the depth, darker in shadow, light in shadow.
Great.
Yeah. And the strokes don't matter because you think, oh, you got to control everything super tight. You look back from the distance, it all comes together fine.
I think your idea of the camera angle part.
should I get one?
The fact that you can picture the camera angle,
hard.
like, okay, I got it right. And keep it in your head though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people might use that and you're like, oh crap.
But you're also talking about perspective where you have to now tilt things up and down. And then you have to think about the vanishing points of like where perspective might go. Whether it's going like back this direction, or up that way.
But you have to
So,
find it on top.
Like you're directing.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
So, in 2014 to 15, when I was drawing for that year, all the training was about being able to move the camera, being able to position in a way where I can go things like understanding cinematography, a medium shot, telephoto to close-ups, up angle, down angle, wide angle.
Think about directing like a movie or something.
Well, that's a whole different story. Like
Maybe
maybe
this-
cinematographer.
Maybe when this goes into like
I have a
animation,
trailer in my head.
Animation.
When I was creating the story, I listened to this song, this group called Magic Zord, and they did a trailer music for this.
The
Really,
Chinese dude?
no, these 2 white guys. But they wear masks and like have crazy shows. But it's all like electro pop kind of stuff. When I listen to it, it's like, man, that's the music I would play in my trailer,
Music like gets
right there.
Now this is the music too loud.
It's crazy. And so I literally had a live action trailer of the Blacksmith in my head. I have it still. So,
Now you need someone to like put
Yeah.
animation.
well, I see this as a live action.
Live action.
Yeah, series. That's my main goal is to be this as live action show.
I was
Yeah.
telling you earlier, I was like, I watched that anime.
Yeah, so I created it as the world.
Zero stores.
Yeah,
It's
man.
your thing, and then all of a sudden, that whole thing packed with something.
Like when he had no armor, when I was sculpting him in the beginning, like office.
Yeah.
Without one armor.
Yeah.
I started putting the armor on.
Yeah, yeah.
He became more strong.
Yeah. So it's worked out really well, story-wise, because first it was like the imagery in the world style, then the comic, the story, and then like 3-dimensional piece, and then I want to kind of bring it all together, package a brand, pitch it. Netflix, Amazon, I want to reach out to them. So my ultimate goal is for that. Whether it happens or not, I don't care. I'm gonna shoot for it.
Anthony. There's one more Sony camera.
It's still recording.
Yeah. Or it's not blinking and recording.